Hello friends, welcome back to English Wala. Now I am going to discuss interrogative adjectives. It's video number 30. Use of what, which and whose, when they are adjectives, when they are pronouns, and we should learn how they should be used. This is a very important topic. So please lend me your eyes and ears along with your mind. I am going to discuss the interrogative adjectives, when we should use what, which and whose, and when they are adjectives, when they are pronouns. All these things will be discussed in this video. Let us proceed. We should at first know what is interrogative adjective. An interrogative adjective is a word, obviously interrogative adjective, so it is a WH word that modifies a noun by asking a question. It may be a direct question or an indirect question. There are only three interrogative adjectives, and they are what, which and whose. So with these interrogative adjectives, we can frame questions. The native speakers sometimes do not make any mistake while using interrogative adjective or interrogative pronoun, but we, the second language speakers, often get confused regarding it. We should remember that there are only three interrogative adjectives. They are what, which and whose. These adjectives are always followed by a noun or pronoun, noun or noun equivalent. That means what, which or whose modify a noun or pronoun that follows it. And a question is asked. The question may be a direct question or an indirect question. What book do you like? It's a direct question. I want to know what book he likes. So it is an indirect question. But here, what book? So what is the adjective? Let us proceed and it will be clear to all of us. If we see, when which takes a noun or pronoun, when what takes, use of what. It's a general determiner, and use of what as adjective. Let us see some questions. What time is it? What time is it? What people would you like to meet? What dish do you have? What color is your favorite? Let's see these questions. What time is it? What time? So, what is here? An adjective. Because time is the noun that is modified. What time is it? What people would you like to meet? What people would you like to meet? What dish did you have? So this is the noun, and what is the adjective? What color is your favorite? What color is your favorite? What size fits you? What age is your brother? What food have you never eaten? What food have you never eaten? What kind of a man is he? What sort of a behavior is it? All these questions are direct questions, and here what functions as the general determiner. The general determiner, but there are some indirect questions. There are some indirect questions also. These are direct questions. Number 10, I want to know what length the street is. I want to know. So if I split this sentence into two, what is the length of the street? I want to know this. So I want to know what length the street is. Tell me what shape the vase is. What shape the vase is. Do you know by what train he came? So all these are indirect questions. So what can be used as an adjective in a direct question and even in an indirect question? Now I have written here general determiner. Actually, what does not give us any option, which gives. If we use which, we can get that which gives the options. That means within the options, when the options are given, which boy do you like? Perhaps there are 2 boys or 3 boys. Out of those 2 or 3 boys, which boy do you like? So which is specific determiner and what is general determiner? Now to conclude, we can say that what is a general determiner? What can be used as an adjective in a direct question? What can be used as an adjective in an indirect question? And what modifies the noun or the pronoun that follows it? Now, let us proceed. If we say about which, let us see about which. Use of which is a specific determiner in contrast with what? What is a general determiner? Now let us see the use of which as interrogative adjective, which is used attributively with a noun asking for selection from 2 or more, that I was saying just a minute before. Which is used attributively, that means before the noun, attributively with a noun, that means before or just after the noun. Here actually before the noun that is modified follows which is used attributively with a noun asking for selection from 2 or more. Let me explain. There are perhaps 2 books and I ask you, which book do you want to read? There are perhaps 5 books. Which book do you like to read? There are perhaps 10 boys. I can say, which boy is your friend? So, which is a specific determiner. That means the options are there. Options are available. There are 10 boys and I may ask you, which boy is your friend? Now, which is used attributively with a noun asking for selection from 2 or more. It may refer to persons or things in all numbers and genders. Like what? In the case of what also, we can find that what may refer to persons or things in all numbers and genders. Now let us see some examples. Which students came here first? Which students came here first? So specific students, I want to know about them. Which book do you want? There are some books and out of those books, which book do you want? Which dessert will you have? Perhaps in the menu, there are 2 or 3 types of dessert. I may ask you, which dessert will you have? Which Mr. Basu did you meet? Perhaps there are 2 Mr. Basus. Perhaps Mr. Basu the secretary, perhaps Mr. Basu the president, perhaps Mr. Basu the clerk. And I may ask you, which Mr. Basu did you mean or did you meet? Which minister was bribed by which leader? Which minister was bribed by which leader? So here, which is interrogative adjective and the noun is minister. Again, which is interrogative adjective and the noun is the leader. In the next sentence, which way shall we choose? Perhaps there are 2 ways or 3 ways and I may ask you, which way shall we choose? To which address was the letter sent? To which address? Here which is the adjective and address is the noun which is modified. So I think it is clear to you and how we should use what and how we should use which. Now let us see difference between what and which. Use what when options are unknown. The most important point, use what when options are unknown, but use which when options are known. For example, what book will you give me? What book will you give me? Here I am the speaker. The speaker does not know the choice of books available. What book will you give me? What dessert would you like? The options are unknown to the speaker. What dessert would you like? Now, we should use which when the options are known. That means, perhaps there are 2 or 3 books. Then I can say to you, which book will you give me? Which of those 3 books? That means, which book will you give me? Speaker knows the available books. Now, which dessert would you like? Here also, options are known. Perhaps there are 2 or 3 desserts and the person is asking me, which dessert would you like? So, when the options are not known, what is used? When options are known, which is used? Now, use of whose as interrogative adjective. Whose is used attributively as the subject or object. It may be placed at the position of the subject or at the position of the object. It is used attributively, that means either just before the noun, which is modified, or just after the noun. Let us see some examples. Whose car is this? Whose car is this? So, whose car, for example, I told you in one of my previous videos, red car. Red car is equal to whose car? I can strike off both cars. So, whose is equal to red, red is equal to adjective, so whose is adjective here. Whose car is this? Whose cycle is stolen? Whose advice will you listen to? Do you know whose woods these are? Do you know whose woods these are? So here, at the position of the object, whose woods these are? Do you know whose woods these are? Whose child is he? Whose child is he? So, the most important thing that should be remembered is, after whose, there must be the noun or the pronoun which is modified. Noun or noun equivalent. It is true in the case of what, it is true in the case of which also. Now, don't get confused with the interrogative adjective and interrogative pronoun. Sometimes students, particularly the second language learners, we particularly make some mistakes. We rather face a confusion. We are a bit confused regarding the interrogative adjective and interrogative pronoun. Now let us see. Do not confuse interrogative adjective with interrogative pronoun. Interrogative adjectives, it's very important. Interrogative adjectives modify noun or pronoun. Look at the following questions. What do you like? What do you like? After what, there is no noun nor pronoun. What do you like? Which is better? Perhaps in a context, in a conversation, there are 2 ways. Which is better? Now, whose shall I take? Whose shall I take? Here the WH words, that means what, which, whose, are not interrogative adjectives. They are interrogative pronouns. They stand alone. They do not take any noun or pronoun with them. They do not modify nouns or pronouns. Now compare the examples above with these similar ones, these examples. Instead of saying what do you like, if I say what dish do you like? So after what, there is a noun, that is dish. And dish is the noun that has been modified. So what dish do you like? Here what becomes an adjective. Which way is better? Which is better? Instead of writing which is better, if I say which way is better, so here way is the noun that is modified and which is the adjective. Whose car shall I take? Here car is the noun which has been modified and whose is the interrogative adjective. So I think it is very much clear to you the difference between interrogative pronoun and interrogative adjective. You should keep this in mind. Now, I think the interrogative adjectives and the difference between interrogative adjective and interrogative pronoun, all these are clear to you. We should remember that there are only three interrogative adjectives. They are what, which, and whose. And the thing that should be remembered is all the three interrogative adjectives, what, which, and whose, they modify a noun or noun equivalent. So I think it's very clear to you, and please subscribe to my channel if my videos prove to be helpful to you. Thank you for watching my video.